Hi y'all, I'm back. I'm Chase. This is my 2013 Fat Bob. It is a dyno with a 103. And we're going to go out for a little ride. And of course we hit the light. On your own side. Huh. Not doing good on gas. Alright, so what are we going to talk about? I'm thinking, how about tires? So far, I've had Dunlops, Michelin's, Pirellis, and what were those other ones? Shinko's. I think they're Yokohama's motorcycle tire brand. So far, I think the Michelin's are the best that I've had so far. But the ones that are on here are Michelin's, and they're starting to get a little, let's just call it worn. And they don't have very many miles on them. I'm thinking like 7,000 or so. Yeah, 7,600. Close. That's not much. Oh, I'm gonna pass this guy. I don't know why he's going so slow. Oh man, he's all the way up on the wheel. Terrified to be on the freeway. If you were that scared that you were hunched over the wheel, horrified that 75, 70 miles an hour even, just stay the hell home. There's no reason for you to be on the road because all you're going to do is cause accidents. Anyways, back to tires. These are starting to get a little worn. The back one especially. The front one's starting to it's starting to cup a little bit. They don't have a lot of miles on them, and I'm thinking about replacing my tires. So if any of you have any suggestions about which tires to replace them with, that'd be great. If you've had luck getting good mileage and decent grip out of a set of tires, that'd be great. So far, I'm leaning towards the Dunlops. I think they're called American Elites. They seem to be pretty good when it comes to getting mileage out of a set of tires. Guys are raving about those. They're made in America. I looked at Metzler ME 88s, or I'm sorry, 888s. I thought about Shinko's, but they seem to be having problems now. I don't think they're made in Japan. I think they're made somewhere else now. It might even be China. I just don't trust Chinese tires, sorry. And on two wheels, I really don't trust them because, well, that could be your life. So I'm leaning towards either the Metzlers or the Dunlops or another set of these Michelin's because I can't be sure if they're wearing because they're just wearing or because they're I think they're the original tires that came on this bike from 2013. I know motorcycle tires are only supposed to last 5 to 10 years. Most people say 5, some people say 10. I had an 08 Sportster where they lasted, it was 10 years. I had to replace them in 2018. But they were worn down, so. But so far, those are the tires I'm looking at. I really considered the Shinkos because, I mean, they are so cheap, but that's the problem. I've never bought anything that was cheap and had it last or be something that was a good product. Something I would recommend to someone else. I guess that's just the way things are. So I read a bunch of reviews. The American Elites from Dunlop, they seem to be getting better reviews than, let me get over, than even the Metzlers. Guys that are on much bigger and heavier bikes than I am, road glides, street glides that are doing 2-up, touring miles, talking about getting 15, 20,000 out of them. That's a lot of miles for somebody that's doing 2-up touring, and that's a lot of weight. I'm about 6 foot, 185, 188 pounds usually. It fluctuates a little, but that's about it. And then you had a woman, which about 100 pounds, maybe 120. So you're already talking about 300 pounds, maybe a little over, on a bike that weighs 850 pounds, and all that weight's going on the tires. So if they can get that much mileage out of those tires, that really interests me. I've seen that they grip really good. Everybody seems to think that they're the new hotness. Everybody was really on the Metzler ME888s. But that was a couple years ago now. The original tires that came on this bike, the Michelin Scorcher 32s, I don't think they're bad tires. They seem to kind of, I don't know, you get a little weird wobble sometimes out of them. I think it's just because of the way they wear and the tread pattern. Tread pattern kind of is like, looks like a mudding tire. It's got a lot of space in between the treads. And I know that's for a certain look. But the further it wears, the more the tread seems to space out. And I'm not sure I like that. Price, of course, the new hotness, those Dunlop American Elites, they are outrageously expensive. At least for motorcycle tires, they're about as expensive as it gets. The Metzlers aren't bad comparatively. They're close to the same price, maybe $20, $30 cheaper for the set. The Scorchers, amazingly, are actually more expensive than the Metzlers, which is weird. Yeah, the Michelin Scorcher 32s, they are more expensive than the Metzlers, and they certainly don't last as long. Mostly the only guys that buy those are literally guys that have fat bobs. I heard the Dunlop version of these tires was even worse. So I definitely don't want to get the Dunlop version of this tire. But if you've had any tires that you really, really liked, something that got really, really good mileage and were sticky, you know, or lasted real long while being, I don't know, something that handled well, even in the rain. So far, from what I've read on reviews, it seems like the American Elite from Dunlop are the tire to beat for range, for handling, overall stability, just about everything, at least when it comes to a cruiser tire. I did look at the Metzler Cruise Techs, but they're not like the 888s. They don't seem to get as good a mileage. So I kind of passed on those. There's a couple other brands, Continentals. I don't see a lot of good reviews about them. And I think there's a couple other brands that I looked at, but none of them seem to be worth it. They're all within, you know, $100 of each other for a pair, I think, or close to it, except for the Shinkos, which are really, really like $200, $250 cheaper than some of them. But, you know, like a lot of things in life, you get what you pay for. And I'd rather buy once, cry once. Because if I buy a set of Shinkos and then I have to buy a second set of Shinkos, you know, in 15,000, in less than, you know, 7,000 miles, and I only get 15,000 miles out of two sets of them, I mean, I'm right there at what it would have cost just to get them done with the Dunlop American Elites. Oh, and add in the installation fee, so you're paying for the installation fee twice too. So you're actually throwing money away by getting the cheaper tire. Unless you're installing them yourself, then great, but I don't have any tire tools, and I don't trust myself for something like that. I can turn a wrench, but I don't have a tire machine, I don't have a balancing machine, I don't have any of that stuff. So I'd rather have someone else do it. I think we're going to get off here and do some twisties. I don't know how they do in other countries, what everybody's putting on their Harley-Davidsons, or even sport tourers. A lot of sport tourers, guys like different kinds of tires. But everywhere I go is a fairly long drive. And I don't mean sitting in traffic. I mean like it's 30 miles to anywhere. Or 30 minutes or close to it. I mean, even a large city is literally 100 miles. So it would behoove me to get tires that are a little bit longer wearing. Getting tires that stick better, softer compounds wear out faster. Yeah, you seem to get a little bit, I don't know, a little bit better. But honestly, on a Harley, 50, 60 miles an hour, 70 on the freeway, you're not going to notice that. And if you're one of those guys that's trying to take bikes real hard into turns and stuff like that, well then, yeah, you probably do need those extra sticky tires. But if you're just a guy that's out cruising like I am, getting tires that will last you longer, that will put up more miles, that's probably a better idea. I'm not trying to push anything, and I mean, even these Scorchers, they do okay, and they're not great tires. They're okay. They're better than the Dunlops that originally came on my Sportster. Those were terrible. I think those were 401s or 402s. They were just the suck. Yeah, in the comments, if you've had any... Oh wow, look at a big turkey. If you've had any experience with multiple kinds of tires, multiple brands, and you're a tour guy or a Harley guy, let me know. Maybe I'll post this video before I get them. Maybe not. That's what I love about Harleys. Torque in any gear, even the high ones. I'm in 5th gear. You can come right out of a turn and just give it a little bit of throttle and it just goes. But yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what your experience has been with tires. Hope I didn't just kill a butterfly. I think that was what it was. It was a really small one. I feel bad about that. But no deer today. Especially if you've had, you know, really, really good experiences with a certain brand and a certain model from that brand, or if you've had really bad experiences. I've heard good stuff about Metzler. Dunlop, I'm not sure how they operate. But every company's different, and even talking to one rep to another, you might get something totally different. You might be talking to the nicest guy that works in the whole company, and he helps you out. It makes you feel like, yes, as a customer you are important. And the next guy might get someone different, a total prick who doesn't give two shits about your business and tells you you can go to hell. Honestly, I've had that happen more times than I can count from the same companies. You call once and get a nice guy, you call back and suddenly you have the biggest prick in the whole company. And you don't know how it went that way, but that's the way it went. I'd rather not say any company's names just because I'd rather not crap on a company, because most of the time I can get somebody that's pretty decent. I'm still, like I said, I'm still leaning towards those Dunlops. And here's the tricky danger curve all the sport bike guys seem to wipe out on, all that gravel. The Metzlers interest me because, well, I mean, they were the #1 like new hotness for, you know, a couple of years at least. But I think I'm going to go with the Dunlops just because of all the good reviews. And Dunlop, I think they figured out they were getting smoked by everyone and they decided to up their game. That was probably smart of them. They were probably losing, you know, market share. So they came out with those American Elites. My guess is they could probably, just about every company could probably make a tire that lasts, you know, three times or 2 times longer than they actually do. But the longer they last, the less money they make. And if you don't think that's true, oh, I don't know, look at refrigerators, cars, everything. Stuff used to be built to last. There's a guy I've seen, he refurbishes old, you know, those big oval shaped refrigerators from like the 50s. There's a guy that refurbishes those because, well, there isn't anything wrong with it. It just needs a new compressor most of the time. They're infinitely rebuildable. I mean, like a old Ford Mustang. But nowadays, people just want to buy something, and when it breaks, they just replace it instead of, you know, possibly fixing it. Which means more money to the manufacturers. Having something that lasts forever, well, you can only sell to so many people. I understand you're trying to stay in business, but I don't know. If you can win by having the longest lasting anything, that seems like a bragging point. I think this is going to end the video. I'm Chase. Like, comment, subscribe, flick that ding-a-ling to be notified when I post a new video. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.